years. I love the program. And frankly, it's in some ways superior to OBS. And in some ways, OBS is superior to XSplit. But for a lot of what we do, XSplit is the best.
Yes, I agree. XSplit's way better for this. I have a question. Did the link stop working? The coupon code, rather?
The Harstem code has been used up, yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
And unfortunately, I've got no replies about getting more. So I think at this point, you know what? They're like $435 deep. I'm not feeling too bad about them going AFK on me.
Okay.
Anyways, folks, do me a favor. Sit back, enjoy, relax. We got sounds on, and hopefully it's all going to be good now. It's map number 4. On her last life... Oops, I'm on the wrong camera for that. Never mind, we'll let you introduce her. On the bottom left...
What?
I was doing overlay stuff. On the bottom left, he's up 2-1. He's close to victory. It's going to be Invasion Gaming's Harstem.
In the bottom right, as the pink Zerg, it's Acer's Scarlett.
Now, just to really quickly go back on this real quick. I just called Invasion Gaming. That was a mistake. I just realized what I said. It's Invasion Esports. Or Esport, I think singular. Oh, okay, now I don't know for that. I have to Google the difference between the two. But I've got to hang out with the owner of the team a couple times at events. Said he was a really cool guy. I like him a lot, actually. Got to see him at Homestar Cup, Harstem, and some of the other people on the team. But just to once again clarify, and this is not me taking shots at you. I'm just, again, for those who don't know and aren't following the whole name thing, there might be some confusion. You'll hear Sasha on a cast, you'll hear Shura on a cast, you'll hear Scarlett on a cast. This is all the same person. This is all the Acer Scarlett that you guys have learned to love over the StarCraft 2 history. Her real name is Sasha. That's how Zombie often refers to her, and Shura is apparently I guess an Eastern European way of saying Sasha, from what chat's informed us. Regardless, just so you guys can follow anything that's being said. But Ruins of Saras is a pretty darn large map. And this is one where maybe Scarlett finds a bit of love. We've seen a lot of games where Zerg can expand really nicely here and just constantly throw money at their opponents through their expansion leads. But that being said, Harstem's been playing pretty on point, and his attacks have looked pretty good. Last game was a little bit... It felt lackluster due to the lack of sound, but that was a very precise attack, and the Warp Prism living through it was really the linchpin of Scarlett dying versus living.
Having sacrificed the 4th base might have been the better option. While Ultras are still scary in ZVP, they're definitely a lot scarier in ZVT because, well, our one decent counter, the Marauder, got nerfed for whatever reason. And besides that, the Ghost thing is still kind of up in the air and quite expensive. For Protoss, they still have a rather good hard counter in the Immortal, which Harstem was getting to. Harstem, I guess, saw the Hive with the Hallucinated Phoenix or the Warp Prism, something like that, and it looked like he was predicting Ultras. Or maybe he just straight up saw the Ultras covered, I'm not sure. But even though she could have survived on 3 bases for a while longer, gotten a pretty good, scary Hydra Ultra army, I think Harstem still would have had a really good game beyond that.
Yeah, Warp Prism, but a really fast Robo with this one. Now, this could just be for Warp Prism's speed. If it does, that'd be really cool, but at the same time, this might just be for faster Disruptors. I mean... It was a little unfortunate we didn't get to see the Lurker play out of Scarlett that game, and I don't think that was so much her fault. Like, the Ultras, again, question marks, but Harstem's attack hit so quick, there wouldn't have been a lot of time to morph many in. But did really our donations not make it to stream? Like, the 3rd time of us trying?
Apparently.
Okay, let's knock these out really quick, because the thing is, guys, we love you, and we don't want to make you think we don't love you. We've been so hyped up on the MATCHERINO train, and we had some stream issues, apparently. Maybe that's what's causing it. Maybe I shouldn't read a single one of these donations out. I think that might be the issue. But Riomar donates $20 to me. Minty Fizz throws $30 my way as well. Says, I heard you guys like money. Thanks for the awesome cast. This is for both Rifkin and Zombie Grub, so I'll make sure to split that with her after the stream. And Pazzy donates $5. Thank you so much for that. And he says, here's the equivalent of making like 30 cents an hour. Woo!
And Reamer donated $20 to me. Thank you.
And maybe we got trolled and we just double read out the donations, but keep in mind we do appreciate it. And
whatever.
Again, our apologies about missing it because it's been a slower month, so we're not used to looking for them. But the Disruptor coming in here is kind of interesting. This used to actually be a really fantastic thing to do, but now it's not. The Disruptor is a lot better of a battle unit than a harass unit. Still gonna get some kills though. Whoa! I never realized how cool that thing looks when it's firing. We're always focused on the shot, but it like starts freaking out. It's like it's like flexing electricity.
This is a build. The tactic, there we go. This is a tactic that was well used in the beginning of Legacy of the Void, to a point where we thought we needed to get a Spire whenever we were Zerg against both Protoss and Terran. But yeah, nowadays not so good. It just usually gets dealt with pretty easily against people who can control Queens well and prepare well. But Scarlett might have been prepared against the Warp Prism. She was not prepared against the massive amount of Adepts and has nothing.
I feel like Harstem's really got her number, though. He sees like 3 games deep. Every game is Ling Hydra, Ling Hydra, Hydra. Oh, no! Oh, no! So, do we want to talk about the massive fuck-up that just happened, or let it slide? I mean, there's no better way to phrase that. Harstem just killed his own army.
That's pretty good. He kills the Warp Prism. She's gonna survive. She's gonna survive in something she definitely should not have survived in.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how to express this, guys. The way this works, and this has actually been seen many times if you've played Protoss. The shot from the Disruptor moves insanely fast, and if you misclick it with your army, it'll move to the heart of your army because it passes through units. Adepts don't pass through each other, so they clump, right? And it gets awkward. But it goes through units, it will go to the heart of the units, and that's like an anti-highlight clip. We're still recognizing this as well. Oh, Jesus, Zombie Grove.
I was waiting for him to notice it. I was waiting for him to say something about it, because I feel like he really wanted to, but he was trying to deal as much damage as possible with leftover Adepts.
I feel so bad for him right now. Like, that's just the worst. Like, if you storm your own units, you're like, oops, a little bit of damage, right? Let's move out of it. But if you mess up a Disruptor shot, there's no coming back from that at all.
Despite that little help that Harstem gave to Scarlett, I don't think it's going to be enough. She really doesn't have a lot of units in general.
Yeah, and there really should have been time to get Lurkers and things out. I mean, one Lurker got made, but it's just one. This might actually end up working a little bit, though, if Harstem thinks there's more behind it. Like, you see the spikes come out, you're like, okay, first Lurker made obvious, but she's hold positioning it for some reason?
Yeah, one Lurker hold positioned. I mean, it's a surprise.
Okay, there we go, shields to go. So for those who know, you can hold fire on the Lurker to make sure it doesn't attack until you want it to, but Disruptor shot not so hot out of Harstem. He's only got one after all, not because he lost the other ones earlier. Hydras are going to try and take a bit of a fight here, but once again, second Disruptor joins those front lines. Harstem looking for some shots, goes for the Queens, does get them, but Scarlett's bleeding out these units. However, again, this one Lurker might just hold for a bit.
Needs to get a couple more Lurkers, and then she'll have a decent shot at being able to turtle, basically. That was something that was never afforded to Zerg. You know, this Terrans could have tanks, Protoss could have the, Colossus, plenty of splash, no problem, but Zerg didn't really have that. Maybe Fungals could kind of count it, but now with Lurkers, they have a decent shot at turtling on 3 or 4 bases.
Lots of Lings coming in. A little bit hard to get those Disruptor shots on the Lings because you endanger your own units. Scarlett with a really nice concave, and looks like she might just be able to drive Harstem back. That army supply is starting to dwindle pretty quickly. These Disruptors coming off cooldown about halfway. Not going to be able to shoot these out just yet, but you cannot chase Disruptors. It's like the most dangerous thing to do in StarCraft 2. Recognizing this, she decides to back away, and that's a very, very smart move.
A lot more Hydras on the way, and Scarlett is officially held. And now, at this point, it's obvious that Harstem did overextend fairly badly, down about 30 army supply. But with Disruptors, we do see usually the big stalemate in the middle of the map, Disruptors versus Lurkers, goes in the favor of Disruptors eventually. Like, this is like very long stalemates because they're free shots and Lurkers do, like, they die, right? But if the Lurkers can get around the army, they can actually, surround the army. The Lurkers are still great.
I really hate because no matter how well this goes for Scarlett in this game, it's Harstem's fault.
Yes. absolutely. He had a chance to win. He had a follow up that might have could have won. Damn, English could have won as well, but no. Now he's kind of paying for it. He's on 4 bases though, and he'll have plenty of chances to win this game in other ways. You know, attack over here, harassment over there, and he really does start to think about harassment because the bases are getting a little out of control to the top. Scarlett could try and go for even an extra base in the top right.
Absolutely. I do like though right now that the Lurker count has gotten higher though, so it's gonna be really nice going forward.
Oh, that supply block. Not pro.
Both
Not
of
pro,
them
well.
kind of low on supply in general though, so not too devastating right now, but yeah, 5 overlords being made. We've talked about this in the previous games. We didn't get to see it, but this time we might. That sort of weird stalemate that Lurker Disruptor provides for itself, but if not careful, this might just get pounced upon.
It does have to be careful. It's about that long siege line of disruptors versus lurkers, not about letting the army get on top of you.
Nice pick off. Alright, so Resonating Glaives is coming up for Harstem. I just want to stress that while this does make the Adepts faster and obviously way better versus light units like the Hydras and Lings they've been fighting against, the faster attack speed actually makes them even more viable against non-light units like those Lurkers. So you can't really send Stalkers in due to that bonus damage, but Adepts can silently transfer on top of Lurkers fairly easily. This is a tactic we've seen players start to experiment with, but at the end of the day, it's the Disruptor shots slowly trading up with the Lurkers that still seem to be the best.
Yeah, definitely. It does require a high amount of lurkers. One of the biggest problems you see from like new Protosses or, you know, they're not very practical disruptors is shooting all of the disruptors at once. That is the signal for Zerg to move in. You absolutely cannot do that. So you want actually up to 5 or 6 disruptors, believe it or not. Ooh, jeez. That sounded like a good one.
Oh, those are going to be good hits. 2 Lurkers go down. The dynamic of this, too, just to fill people in, 2 Disruptor shots are required to kill a Lurker. It's got enough health to survive 2 of those hits. And unfortunately, Disruptor shots come so quickly, you don't really have time to unburrow and reposition yourself. It's very difficult to do. Even players with really high micro dedicated to it in Archon mode barely pull it off, if at all.
Yeah. There's the Dark Shrine that Harstem does need. You need to start, you know, making sure that Scarlett doesn't get away with too many extra bases. Adepts go up here and they're not going to binge on.
Can you imagine if Dark Templar actually got that ninja jump around move like they do in co-op and campaign?
Oh god. That'd be so OP. They're already too easy in co-op.
Alright. Let's see, Harstem still posturing to get in here. The Lurkers are actually badly out of position for this. I'd say actually devastatingly badly out of position. 2 Disruptor shots going to come in, take out almost 3 of the Lurkers, but this opens the gateway to just walk up the natural if you'd like. Walk up the natural, maybe get some force fields behind it. I don't know, but this is a little bit messy here for Scarlett. She does have a big enough army to fight this head on, but not the positioning to do it.
That is a big surround though. Doesn't actually scare Harstem. He's playing it cool. Gets the lurkers with the not the cyclones, disruptors. Oh, I think she wanted to go take care of that, but gets rallied. It's thrown somewhere else. There we go. Now splitting up her army.
So 18 workers killed for some adept slipping is really nice. It's worth noting though that 51 drones to 84 probes is actually not anything worth noting. Mostly because Harstem's mined out a lot of his other bases, so he's oversaturated on the bases he has mining. Whereas for Scarlett, weirdly enough, this drone saturation is good. It could be a little bit better, of course, but this is not bad for her.
84 probes. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, right now the income's looking really strong for Harstem, and it will for a moment. But the second that natural base mines out, that's 20 dead supply you've got in probes. Oh, DTs get picked off immediately. Of course, just
out.
Quick reminder, guys, that we do have TLO and Marine Lord playing after this. They were scheduled to start playing 15 minutes ago, but a little bit behind schedule. But in order to get some pretty awesome games, so no complaints there. While the Scarlett and Harstem codes may have all been used up for the MATCHERINO links, there should still be Marine 1 codes available for TLO and Marine Lord. So get on that while you're waiting, guys. Free money coming from MATCHERINO. All you got to do is enter in those codes. 2 DTs heading towards the natural base should be able to take this out pretty quickly. Main base also has a little bit of harass, but of course that's where the tech is. And I would almost imagine killing the Ultralisk Cavern would have been better than killing this hatchery.
Maybe. Double Immortals being pumped out though.
Oh, no.
It's going down. Oh no. Whoopsie, that's a big waste of money. But Harstem luckily is banking quite a lot of money.
I feel like this is that one game where Harstem's like, this didn't happen. Do over. Well, again, like, don't watch this game, fans.
Yeah, right? Oh no! Oh, okay.
Actually, yeah, not so good.
It's all good. It's all good.
Ultras do get taken down pretty quickly. It's worth noting that the damage that the Disruptor does as well is in fact kind of a spell effect, so Ultra Armor will not affect the damage whatsoever, but the 500 health will be able to take a couple of Disruptor shots. Oh, Adepts get over here once again. Lurker's trying to respond, but Resonating Glaives makes him attack pretty darn quick, and these drones get weeded out very fast. Scarlett has managed to replace some of the drones that went down over the course of this game, but Chitinous Plating finally finishes up on the Ultras. But with the Immortals in play, I still feel like Harstem's not going to be too bad for this. 1 or 2 Disruptor shots at a time just to keep the Hydras back, more so than going for big kills. Lets his army escape.
It's some really nice play from Harstem. He's not getting that long siege line like we sometimes see, especially in Runes of Saras. But he's constantly playing it smart and having an escape path, which is actually absolutely what you need against Lurkers. Scarlett getting a little fed up with how much harass she's taken. Tries to go for the attack, but doesn't not go well.
No, Disruptor shots on the right side were fantastic, and perhaps it's not Zerg that's looking OP, but maybe just Harstem. I'm not even going to say Protoss, because despite those early game losses, he's really done a great job of bringing this back. And with the double expands coming up behind this, and one of them being gold, he puts those 86 probes to work.
Yeah, worried about Scarlett expanding early on in this game. Now, definitely worried about Harstem out expanding. Going up to 3 Stargates. Oh, damn. Tempests, Carriers, both could be good. Void Rays, I don't know about Void Rays, but either way, whether he goes to a Stargate or just continues on with the ground army, it looks like Harstem is going to win.
GG. Harstem's going to take 3-1 in the series. Keep in mind, guys, both players were going to get a lot of money from this show match no matter what.